It is time for one of my favorite times of the year. NBA 2K21 is here. We've also got the playoffs going on in real life right now. If you guys didn't know, I'm a huge Boston Celtics fan, and I'm absolutely loving life at the moment. Literally recording this just after we beat the Raptors in Game 5 of the playoffs. But today, I want to see if we can take things to another level with the Boston Celtics and get us that chip with a twist. But lads, it is my absolute privilege to say this video is sponsored by 2K. A huge thank you to 2K for sponsoring today's video. I'm an absolute 2K nerd, so I'm very privileged to be in this position. But we are going to be rebuilding the Boston Celtics on NBA 2K21. If you want to purchase NBA 2K21, I will leave a link in the description down below. But without further ado, we're going to jump into things. So this is the twist that I'm going to be talking about. We're going to be taking over the Boston Celtics, doing a fantasy draft, and seeing if we can rebuild the side to contend and win the NBA championship, win the Larry O'Brien trophy in season number 1. Very, very interested to see who we get in the draft, what draft position we get, and if we can wheel and deal our way to a chip. But of course, like I said, we're going to be taking over the Boston Celtics. I don't know, I mean, in real life, you would say it's a stacked Eastern Conference, but who knows whether it's going to be that way in this after the draft. Interested to see where we go. So, Giannis went to the Raptors with the first pick. Luka went to the Blazers. Mavericks got Harden. I don't know where we're going to be in this fantasy draft. Hopefully, I mean, I've put it a serpentine motion, so I'm hoping like mid-table or mid-draft so we can get a good first player, but every pick that goes past is having me worried. Tatum's gone to the Nuggets, which I'm not a fan of. I wanted to get Tatum into our side. A lot of the marquee players are going very quickly here. The Rockets got Donovan Mitchell, Paul George to the Suns. The Cat's gone to the Kings. Kyrie's gone to the Bulls. Not that I would have picked him up at all. Come on, are we going to be one of the lowest picks in the draft? Butler. Thompson's gone to the Clips. Lakers have got Chris Paul. Where are we going to go? Ja Morant's gone to the Hawks. Oh no. It's getting... 76ers got Ben Simmons. Okay, we're on the clock now. Pascal Siakam is the best option. Bradley Beal, Rudy Gobert, Porzingis. Oh, Booker, Walker. There's some big players available, but none of the huge marquees. Hopefully, Jaylen Brown will stay around, but don't want to go for a big center. I think I'm going to go for Devin Booker. D-Book was the bubble MVP. Going to go for him. All right, our second round pick. We're on the board here, and I think it is the right decision if we go for Kemba Walker. At least bring one of the Celtics players back. All right, round 3 is here. We need to get a big into the side. A lot of interesting prospects, Hassan Whiteside, but Steven Adams, there is no looking past him. I was hoping that we traded for him in real life. One of my favorite players. He's a Kiwi. He's an absolute legend. Steven Adams, welcome to the Celtics. Round 4, we need a power forward, and I've got to go for my brother. He's my cousin. I'm pretty sure he's my cousin somewhere down the line. Might be like my 10th cousin. My last name is Nance. We're going to draft Larry Nance Jr. Do I want to go for Jingles? Do I want to go for Gordon? Do I want to go for Winslow? Winslow has the most upside. Let's go for Winslow. Round 6, no questions. Pat Bev. He is an absolute weapon. We're going to bring him into the side. Round 7, we're going to draft another Celtic and someone that has decent wages. Only $5 million in the cap, and it's Kanter. At this point, I'm all about bringing in players that have decent overalls, but really low wages. So Rodney Hood into the side. Ersan Ilyasova, 76 rated. He's coming to the Celtics. DeLon Wright, pretty sure he's at the Mavs. Going to go in for him here. Just £9 million for a 28-year-old. Quinn Cook from the Lakers, a backup point guard. 73 rated at £3 million, was one of our final picks in the draft. Kyle O'Quinn, absolutely loved him in Thibault's vlog series that he's putting in the bubble. Gonna draft him, 1.6 mil as well. Gotta go with the 3-point machine, the vet, Kyle Korver, 1.6 mil, welcome. Gary Payton the second again, an absolute bargain, only 1.62 million on the cap. So there we go, lads. Overall, given how low we were given a draft spot, we have put together a decent side. Kemba Walker and D-Book a great duo, but I want to make a trio. I want to make a big three here in Boston. Would love to get a big player into the side. Gonna have to do some wheeling and dealing if we want to get a good playoff seed and go all the way on the hunt for a chip. But I'll keep you guys up to date with the trades and everything that happens. We have received a trade offer, or I've put together a trade offer here for the sexiest man in the NBA, Kelly Oubre Jr. If you don't have a crush on him, there's something wrong with you. But I'm trying to throw away my picks here because obviously we're only doing one season and they've accepted. So Justice Winslow is headed to the Rocket along with our first round picks. Not worried about the future, worried about this season. Kelly Oubre Jr., a Boston Celtic. So Kelly Oubre Jr. coming in as our small forward at the Suns in real life, but signing with the Rockets in this fantasy draft, and now a Boston Celtics. So we've got Kemba, we've got Devin Booker, and we've got Kelly Oubre Jr. I absolutely love that. To be fair, you could argue that Steven Adams is a part of the big three. So I'm actually really happy with the starting lineup we've put together so far, but not content at the moment. The Bucks are kidding themselves. They've offered up DeAndre Jordan and Jones Jr. for Steven Adams and Gary Payton II. No way am I getting rid of Steven Adams unless it's for somebody ridiculous. And the Kings want to give us 2 draft picks for Larry Nance Jr. Take a walk. What are some of these trades? The Pelicans have offered a first round pick and Conley plus Oubre for Oubre Jr. and Pat Bev. These are disrespectful trade offers. Okay, now the Nuggets are taking the piss. Garland and Hardaway Jr. for Booker, Devin Booker, D-Book, Kendall Jenner's boyfriend. No chance. Get out of here. What is that? An offer that I'm actually interested in, however. Aaron Gordon. He's 2-star rated, which makes me interested. Larry Nance Jr., 2.5 stars. They've got a counter offer in here. Royce O'Neal's going to take up a lot of cap space, however. He must have a back-end contract because $2 million this season. Get rid of him. Get rid of Korver. Maybe I should add in another. Okay, they're going to come back with Royce O'Neal. I'm just going to have to do it, man. I don't want Royce O'Neal because he's only on $2 million this year, but the back end seems expensive, super expensive. So I want to go for Shamet. See, that's $2 million this year, but it must be at the end because it was saying $20 million for the entire contract. Bruno, they've said that again. They want, okay, draft picks. I can live with that. But do I want to get rid of Kyle Korver? Oh, that's a lot of draft picks. It's definitely a trade for now, but I'm going to make it. So there it is. Aaron Gordon, a +1 upgrade at the power forward role, but another big name player coming to Boston. The Mavs have come in here. I've put Enes Kanter on the trade block, and the Mavs have offered up Zach Collins, who does have a decent wage, and he's definitely, I don't know, a player for the future potentially, but I'm going to play around with this slightly and see what we can do. I don't know what to do in terms of the draft picks. I'm going to get rid of them for the moment. Going to maybe see if we can do it. No, they're not going to do that. I want the trades as well. It's only 2 second-round picks. I'm going to do that, all right? We're going to bring in Zach Collins and get rid of Enes Kanter because we're so top-heavy right now. Zach Collins, definitely a good player to bring into the side. He's not the 6th man, but he's playing at the 7th man role right now. There was no point us keeping Enes Kanter when we had Dwight Howard. That's a big trade offer. Eric Bledsoe for Kyle Walker, then Kent Bazemore for Gary Payton II, but I'm definitely going to decline that. Kemba is here to dominate this season. Of course, 2 days after I decline a trade offer for Kemba Walker, he breaks his ankle. Are you kidding me? Kelly Oubre Jr. is one of my favorite players, and Kyle Kuzma is one of my favorite players. I've received this offer from the Grizzlies. I absolutely love Kuzma. Kuzmania, baby, but it hurts me to reject this. So that is the trade deadline. The squad we have put together now is the squad that's hopefully going to win us a chip here in this first season with the Boston Celtics. Very, very interested to see how we finish up the season, but I love the team we've managed to trade. And just a little update on how we're sitting at the trade deadline. We currently occupy the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference, 35-16 record. The Cavs and the Sixers ahead of us only slightly, but we've got the Raptors and to an extent Brooklyn and Orlando breathing down our necks. But for me, it's all about making the playoffs and trying to get as high a seeding as possible. But we'll get to the end of the regular season and see what sort of a shape we're in. Also, a little update on the West. The Spurs absolutely killing it. Mavs, so it's a little bit of a Texas domination in the West there. The Clippers, the Jazz, the Nuggets, the Suns with an even record or a very 500 record, but the Spurs, the outright favorites and the outright dominant side at the moment. So here we are at the end of the regular season. Giannis has won the MVP award at the Toronto Raptors. Jonte Porter has won Rookie of the Year at the Orlando Magic. Don't know who it is, only got 1.2 points. Lonzo Ball got the 6th man of the year at the Mavs, which is quite funny to see. Come on, Lonzo. Giannis got Defensive Player of the Year. Who is going to get most improved? It's going to be Chris Boucher from the Golden State Warriors. Interested to see how they did in the West. And Brett Brown is going to get Coach of the Year. Did any of our players make the All-NBA teams? No one in the first or the second. Kyrie in the second team. In the third team, nobody from our team. Wow, our team really hasn't gotten many selections at all. But we have finished the regular season as the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. And we have been drawn up against the Brooklyn Nets to take them on in the first round of the playoffs. Hopefully going to get ourselves a deep run in the playoffs and win the chip. Philly got the 1st seed. Toronto with the 2nd seed, so things are pretty normal compared to real life. Dallas ended up getting the 1st seed in the West. No Lakers on the West either, which is quite funny to see. And Portland, just like real life. Why does Portland always get the 8th seed? Here are some of the stats for our team, however. Devin Booker, 33.8 points per game, and he hasn't made an All-NBA team. That is unreal. Kemba has got 17.2 points a game, 4.1 assists a game. Bloody Devin Booker got 5. Devin Booker's had an insane season. Steven Adams with a decent season. Can't complain too much about some of the stats there. So here we go, lads. I'm going to watch the first few games with Simcast and really get a feel on how we are doing this season. Then I'll kind of do the classic sim through the playoffs. But let's see if we can get a strong lead. We are the home team here in the first leg. Just got flying through it. And we have absolutely dominated the Nets there. 153 to 115 to go 1-0 up in the series. Going to jump straight into game 2 here. Second game at the Garden. The Nets have gotten off to an early lead there. It's actually quite a strong lead for them. And they're going to come away 10-point winners in the second game. Jumping straight into the third game. Now it's in Brooklyn. And again, the Nets getting off to a strong start. We're breathing down their necks. We're going to take a 2-point lead. Come on, Boston. 2-point win. We've picked up a road win. 2-1 up in the series. Can we make it a 3-1 advantage? Back and forth so far in this game. Oh, we had the... we lost by 5 in OT. That could have made it 3-1, but now the series is tied. All right, so let's see if we can polish off the round here. We're going to simulate the round here and see how we go in the remaining games of the first round. So, they've taken a 3-2 lead. You're kidding me. We've been eliminated after having a 2-1 lead. We've gone and dropped 3 games in a row and have been eliminated by the Nets 4-2 in the first round of the playoffs. So we're going to simulate the rest of the playoffs here and see who goes through. We would have been seeded up against the 8th place Milwaukee beat Philly 4-1 in the first round. That is unreal. Toronto in the Eastern Finals against Milwaukee. Denver, 7th seed, are in the finals. It's the Raptors versus the Nuggets. The 2nd seed versus the 7th seed. And the Raptors have gone back to back as NBA champs. Giannis would have absolutely killed it for them. But I am so disappointed. We were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. What? Lads, regardless of our disappointing results on the court, I had a great time making this video. Absolutely loving NBA 2K21. If you guys want any more NBA 2K21 videos on the channel, make sure you let me know by leaving a like on the video and letting me know in the comment section down below. But if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. Subscribe if you are new around here. It's been Jared HD here. I'm out. Peace.